Welcome to this gentle Pilates for beginners that you can practice at home. You only need a mat, so no equipment. My name's Melissa, and I used to teach Pilates prior to teaching yoga, so it was my gateway into mindful movement. 18 plus years ago, I had 4 Pilates DVDs before I even came on YouTube, and I love Pilates. I felt there was a need for Pilates classes that are accessible financially. If you try to go to a Pilates class anywhere, they usually are around $30. That seems like a lot of money to me. And then also, I wanted them to be accessible in terms of your nervous system for beginners. I find when I go to Pilates classes that they go from 0 to 100, and there's no titration, so that you're easing into it in a way that feels safe and supportive for your body. And I feel that I can bring this to the Pilates community here on YouTube. And so I really look forward to practicing with you. We're gonna start face down. So you're gonna rest your forehead on the mat, and I'm gonna stay up here just so you can hear me without there being a big echo chamber in my mic. And as you're here, we're just going to start with one of the main principles of Pilates, which is your breathing. So as you breathe, I don't want anything to be forced or hard. I want it to be gentle, but we're gonna direct your breath a little bit. You're gonna breathe into your side ribs and your back. And then you're gonna exhale and you're gonna draw your navel up and off the mat. So breathe into your side ribs. Allow your side ribs to expand out to the side. Breathe into your back ribs. And then as you breathe out, you can lift your navel up off the ground. So let's do this together a few more times. Another thing that's happening when we practice Pilates is that we're bringing awareness to what we're doing. So tune into the sensations of your abdominals working. Notice where your attention goes. And just let yourself be curious about how your body feels in this moment as you're breathing in this way. And feel how just by breathing in this way, you can start to tune into the strength of your core. Okay, from here, you're going to inhale into your side ribs and your back. Exhale, drop through your navel, lengthen long through your right leg until it lifts off the ground. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift your left leg off the ground. Inhale and lower. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. And inhale, lower. So now be curious about what you're feeling here. Feel the opening at the fronts of your hips, the tightening in your glutes as you breathe and lower. And know that your core goes from your neck to your knees, front and back. So we're working our glutes, which are a strong part, an important part of your core strength. And then you're going to put your hands underneath your shoulders, roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale into your side ribs and your back. Exhale, draw up through your navel as you lift up off the ground. And inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So spinal extensions are going to strengthen your back. And then you're going to roll onto your back. Okay, from your back, we're just going to do some neck releases to prepare for the class. So your top of your spine, your cervical spine, goes to behind the bridge of your nose. So just imagine your skull floating on top of your spine here. And we're going to inhale, lift and lower. We're just going to do little head nods here. So very small so that you are getting movement in the first and second vertebra of your cervical spine, the spine that's part of your neck. And we're just creating some mobility here. Then you're going to draw, if you're Canadian, you'll know what this means, loonie-sized circles, about the size of a silver dollar, on the ceiling with your nose. Now, notice what it feels like if you imagine you have a nose in the back of your head and draw those circles on the floor. Now, can your movement be gentle so that your body feels safe and supported? Go the other way. Okay, now let's focus on your pelvis here. You're going to inhale here, side ribs and back, and exhale, scoop, tilt your pelvis, don't lift it off the ground yet. And then you're going to inhale, tilt it the other way. So use your core, your abdominals to scoop out your pelvis here, flatten out your low back, and then inhale and reach in the other direction. So let your movement be mindful. Connect with your breathing. Become aware of how this feels in your body. Okay, next time we're going to keep rolling. So you can inhale here. Exhale, curl your pubic bone and tailbone off towards your face, and then lift your pelvis off the ground. Now try to use your lower abdominals to lift here. Use the strength of your lower abdominals. You're going to inhale at the top. You're going to exhale, you're going to soften through your rib cage here so that you're lowering down through your spine, bone by bone by bone. This is the mind-body connection. So we're focusing on what we're doing, we're attuning to what we're doing, and we're feeling it in our bodies. Inhale, side ribs and back. Exhale, scoop out that lower belly, pull the pubic bone, tailbone towards your face, and then use that core to lift your spine off the ground, bone by bone by bone, feeling the vertebra lift off the ground. Inhale the top into your side ribs. Exhale, you're going to soften through the top of your rib cage and roll down through your spine, bone by bone by bone. Keep the pelvis curled up. And then when the top of your pelvis hits the ground, then you're going to uncurl your pelvis. So you're working your core, neck to knees, abdominals, glutes. Inhale. Exhale. Scoop out that lower belly. Pull the pubic bone, tailbone towards the face. Keep scooping until you are lifting your spine off the ground, bone by bone by bone. And then you inhale at the top. Exhale, soften through your rib cage and roll down through your spine, bone by bone by bone. You want to move in a way that feels safe and supported for your body. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Scoop out those lower abdominals. Lift the pelvis off the ground. Lift using your abdominals. Coming up bone by bone by bone. And then inhale at the top. Exhale, you're going to roll down through your spine, one vertebra at a time. Okay, when you come down, I want you to make your pelvis level. What I mean by that is that I want your hip bones and your pubic bone to be on the same plane. So not curled up, not super arched, but you will have a little 2-finger gap between your lower spine here, okay? You're going to inhale, arc your arms overhead and take them behind your head. You want your head to rest heavy in your hands. So really let your skull be heavy here. This is how we're going to not have neck pain. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale, tilt your chin so the back of your neck is long. You're going to exhale, you're going to come up. But to come up, I want you to draw those ribs down. Okay? Check in with your pelvis. Mine was tilted up, so I fixed that. You're going to inhale at the top into your side ribs in your back. And then you're going to exhale, you're going to draw your navel down to your spine. Inhale, side ribs and back. Exhale, scoop out that belly. Inhale, side ribs and back. Exhale, scoop it out, breathe it out. Inhale. Exhale. One more like this breath. And exhale. Inhale at the top. You're going to exhale, roll down through your spine, bone by bone by bone. Okay, and just pause here. Let your head rest heavy in your hands. Okay, so we want our core to be doing the work, not our necks. So just really feel your head, your skull heavy in your hands. Elbows draw in slightly so you can see them in your peripheral vision. Tuck your chin, inhale into your side ribs in your back. Exhale, you're going to pull the tops of the ribs down, and that's going to lift your shoulder blades off the ground. You're going to check again for your pelvis, and from here, you're going to breathe into your side ribs in your back. And exhale, draw your abdominals down. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Can you feel your core working more when you breathe out? Breathe in. And breathe out. Keep your shoulder blades off the ground if you can. One more. And then roll down through your spine with control so that it feels safe and supported in your body. Okay, let's just pause here, take a little breath. Notice how you're feeling. Let's make that mind-body connection. Can we feel the core? Can we feel it has been working? And how are you feeling? Are you over-efforting, or are you applying the perfect amount of effort so that your body feels safe and supported? Okay, so elbows in slightly so you can see them in your peripheral vision. Tuck your chin so the back of your neck is long. Inhale into your side ribs in your back. Exhale, close the front ribs to lift yourself up off the ground. From here, you're going to inhale into your side ribs. Exhale, rotate. You're going to reach your shoulder over to your opposite hip. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Breathe in, breathe out, and roll down through your spine, bone by bone by bone. You're going to take your hands by the side of your body and just pause here. Notice how you're feeling. Can you feel that mind-body connection? Can you feel that your core has been working? Okay, now we're going to do something slightly different. It's going to involve core strength. So you're going to, again, just check in that your pelvis is level. Pubic bone and hip bones are on the same level. And then you're going to breathe into your side ribs and your back. Exhale, draw your navel down. Okay, so you feel that core strength, draw up through your pelvic floor. What we're going to do here is you're going to slowly sway your knees to your left side without tipping your pelvis. So you've got to keep your core working by keeping your right hip bone drawing down. And then you're going to inhale back center. Exhale, slowly lower your right knee, your knees to the right. Keep drawing that left hip bone down and come back to center. So I can feel my shoulders want to get involved in this because my core is not strong enough to handle this. So when we do yoga, oftentimes we do this kind of thing and see how your pelvis is tipping from side to side. In this one, we're changing it into a core strength exercise by keeping that pelvis level. That's our core strength. Inhale, center, and only lower your knees as much as you can without your pelvis lowering. So if you're feeling it, you're doing it. You don't need to go far. You probably, in order to have that control and safety and support in your body, want to move slowly. And you want to move in a way that feels safe for your body and in control. So we don't want that pelvis flying all over the place. We want it to stay still. You're doing great. One more each side. Okay, and then relax everything. Release any tension you might have had in your shoulders. Take your legs out long. You're going to inhale, take your arms overhead. Inhale with your arms overhead. Exhale, draw those top ribs down. Draw up through your pelvic floor. Lift your head off the ground, and you're going to roll all the way up to seated. And if you need to help yourself up, don't worry about that. We are letting ourselves be beginners. We're letting ourselves be at the beginning, and we don't need to be perfect the first time out of the gates, or even the 10th time or 20th time out of the gates. It'll come slowly over time. That's how positive change stays, is if you build it slowly over time. You're going to bring your arms up here. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale, you're going to roll just halfway back. So it's like what you were doing with that bridge before, only you're going down, you're rolling down through the back of your pelvis. Inhale, exhale, draw up through your pelvic floor, draw your navel to your spine, and come back up to seated. So we're moving slowly with control. Inhale, exhale, feel the feeling of the back of your pelvis rolling onto the ground. Inhale, exhale, and you're going to roll back up to seated. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to roll halfway down. So feel the back of your pelvis coming down onto the ground. Feel your core working. Inhale into your side ribs and your back. Exhale. Breathe it up. 2 more. Slow and controlled. 1 more. And then you're going to inhale at the top. Exhale, you're going to roll all the way down this time, slowly, bone by bone by bone, with control so your body feels safe. Arms come overhead and down and around. Okay, now we're going to take what we learned with the knee sways a little further with leg circles. You're going to slide your right leg in, fold your right knee in. You could leave your knee bent here, or you can extend your legs straight up. Okay, so you're going to inhale here. You're going to exhale. You're going to take your leg down and around, but you don't want this left hip bone to tip towards it and back up to the center. And then inhale. Exhale, go out and around and draw your leg back up to the center. Okay, so your goal here is to keep your pelvis level, not let it tip with your leg. Inhale. Exhale, circle your leg down and around. Inhale. Exhale, circle your leg out, down, and around. Again. Slow and controlled. One more. Bend your knee, lower your leg down. Slide it out. Pause here for a moment. Release any tension that might have gathered in your upper body. We want to keep it in your core. That's okay while you're learning. We're going to just keep resetting, keep reminding your core we want it to do the work, not your neck and your shoulders. Inhale again. Exhale, slide your left leg in. Fold your left knee in. And then extend your leg up. You're going to inhale here. Side ribs and back. Exhale, draw your navel down. Take your leg down, around. Oops, need more room here. Down, around, and up. And then inhale. Exhale, around, down, and up. And you want to keep your pelvis level. You could use your hand here just to check in for more mind-body connection, to make sure your pelvis isn't tipping. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, around, and up. Exhale, around, down, and up. Keep your pelvis still. Fold your knee, lower your leg down, slide it out. Whew, your legs are burning. Okay, you're gonna roll to your, let's say your left side. Roll to your left side. You're gonna put your body in a straight line. Straight line. So you can rest here, you can rest here. And then what you're gonna do is check that your body's in a straight line. You can bend your bottom leg back so you have more support. But what I want you to do here is to have your top hip bone right on top of the bottom hip bone, okay? So they're stacked, and you're gonna flex your foot, so draw your feet towards your face. You're gonna inhale into your side ribs and your back. You're gonna exhale, draw your your right leg forward. Inhale, exhale, point and reach your right leg behind. So as you're doing this, inhale, exhale, move. We don't want our pelvis to be rolling forward. So your job is to use your core to keep it straight. Inhale, exhale, point behind, as much as you can comfortably and safely with your own body without leaning back, okay? So we're opening the front of our hips. We're also working our glute medius here and your core to keep all this straight. So there's a lot happening. Inhale. Exhale forward. Point your toes. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Inhale. Exhale, take it behind you without tipping your pelvis. One more. Inhale. Point your toes. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale. Point. Exhale, take it behind. Great. Now you're going to come up onto your left elbow. And then you're going to pull your shoulder blade back. Your body's still in that straight line. I want you to lower your rib cage and lift it. So see if you can engage your abs with this micro movement. Inhale, exhale, lift. So inhale, let it lower. Exhale, lift. Use your abs. Take it out of your shoulder here. So we're using our core. Inhale, exhale, lift your rib cage. Create as much space as you can here. And one more like that. Inhale, exhale, and lift. Great. Now we're going to lift the whole thing off the ground. So your shoulders pulled back and down. It's like your blades are falling down your back. And then you're going to exhale, lift until you come off the ground. Okay? And keep lifting, creating more space between your shoulder and the ground using your core. Side ribs back. Exhale, navel in. One more breath. And then we're going to slowly lower down. So hopefully what we're doing in that position is using your side ribs, your obliques, to create that space between your shoulders so you're not dumping in your shoulder. Okay? Let's come over to the other side and do that whole sequence on the other side. So you're going to line up your body in a straight line. Okay? You can bend your bottom leg. You're going to lift your top leg. Toes are pointing towards your face. You're going to inhale. You're going to exhale. You're going to pull your leg forward. And then inhale. Point your toes. Exhale. Reach your legs behind. So remember, we want our pelvis level. Top hip bone over the bottom hip bone. And we want to keep it level through the whole movement. That's why we're moving slow and controlled, bringing awareness to what we're doing. Feel the lengthening in the hamstrings here, the glute medius working here. Point. Now feel the opening in your hips without leaning forward, so you keep your core all engaged. One more. Okay, we're going to lower down. Now you're going to come up on your right arm. Pull your right shoulder back. Body's in a straight line. Knees are bent back. Hips are stacked. And let's do the oblique movement here. You're going to let it drop a bit. And exhale, lift as much as you can. And you will probably notice there's differences from side to side. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So creating as much space here as you can, lifting up. And then you're going to lift all the way off the ground and hold here. Stack your pelvis. You can check to make sure your hip bones are level. Inhale. Exhale. Keep lifting. And then slowly lower down. And we're going to come onto all fours. Okay, so from all fours, you want your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, roll those shoulders back and down and press the ground away from you. Now check in with your pelvis. Can you again make it level? Notice how that changes your core engagement. Inhale into the side ribs and the back. Exhale, hover your knees off the ground. Now breathe into your side ribs and back here. Exhale, draw your navel up. Again. Neck in line with your shoulders. Lower your knees down. You're going to exhale, round up through your back, and you're going to sit back on your heels and relax here. And then you're going to inhale back up onto all fours. So check that your knees are underneath your hips, your hands are underneath your shoulders. And from here, you're going to push the floor away from you. Check with your pelvis too. So my tailbone was lifted up, so I even that out. So my pubic bone and hip bones are on the same level like we were doing on our backs. Tuck your toes under, breathe into your side ribs and your back. Exhale, hover your knees off the ground. Inhale, side ribs and back. Exhale, draw your navel up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, round up through your back and sit back on your heels. Rest here. Okay, then roll up through your spine and come to a comfortable seated position. And I want you to just here check in, notice how you feel. Do you feel more supported in your body? Are your muscles supporting your skeleton here? Do you feel like you've had some good movement, but you still feel grounded, safe, centered, relaxed in your body? Do you feel more connected to your body, your movement, what's happening in your body at the end of the class? Do you feel alert but relaxed? So these are all signs that your gentle beginner Pilates class that you can do at home with just a mat worked well for you. I really look forward to hearing how the class went for you. It's a real mission for me to bring Pilates to people in a way that feels safe, that feels doable, that is accessible financially and also in your body. So I'm open to feedback about how that landed for you, and I look forward to doing it again.